Hey guys, Aaron and Buddy here back in the garage. We're continuing our rebuild of the Porsche 997 engine. This is episode 5. We're going to start with a little bit of housekeeping to go over something that we did wrong in a previous episode, like we try to do in every episode. So if you're rebuilding an engine, make sure you watch all of these in advance so that you can get these tips and not make the mistakes that we made. So these are the pistons that we assembled in a previous video, and it turns out that we accidentally installed one of the pistons to the rod upside down. So Conrad here is going to go ahead and tell us about these.
So these are different. This is a factory piston. The factory piston is symmetrical, although it has some other reasons why some parts go up and some parts go down. These are J pistons. They're aftermarket, and they have different openings for the intake valves and the exhaust valve. The exhaust valves are smaller than the intake valves. They are supposed to go down. And for this set, in order to be consistent, we had the serial numbers marked down on these, and we have the intake side down. On this particular one, we installed this 180 degrees out of phase here. So I removed the clip, removed the wrist pin, flipped it over, put the wrist pin in, put the clip back on, got a little bit more practice. And that was just part of us looking at our bill of materials, I guess, before we do the next portion of the video.
And you learned that it's not easy to get that pin out, right?
Oh yeah, one thing, at least on these, and I think the experience has been similar for others that have done it. The wrist pin fit to the piston is super tight. I believe last time we put these in the freezer on Ziploc bags just to prevent any moisture. But we will, when we assemble these wrist pins in situ on bank 2, we will have these things frozen so that they go in. It's part of getting these clips on easily and consistently, and making it easier on you.
All right, so for the meat of this video, we're going to be talking about piston rings and how to gap them and how to install them onto our pistons. So Conrad has practiced before I got here on some of the rings.
Yep.
So he has
some spares.
Yeah, this is our his first time doing it. I've never done it, so this will be my first time seeing it. So I guess you probably got this on Amazon, I'm assuming?
I got this on Amazon. It's really nice. But I can't tell you all the videos that I watch on how to gap rings. They say be very, very careful. Take material out very, very slowly. Allocate 3 to 4 hours just for gapping the rings. You're going to measure each one 10 times, maybe more. And if you're doing it with less than 10 times, chances are you're going to make the mistake that I made, which is I shaved one 1/1000th more than what I should have. So the specifications for this particular build, this is a 4.0 build on a what was a 3.8 engine from LN, J pistons. The top compression ring, the gap is 15 thousandths. The second ring is 16 thousandths, and then the oil keepers are more than 16 thousandths. And so in doing this, I have one top ring that I went over 15 to 16, and a couple of rings on the second one that I went over the 16. So we want to do this right. The good thing is these rings are available on Amazon as well. The part number is that 10100XS. I think the mistake cost me $30 per set. Not a bad training guide, but we want to have this thing dead nuts perfect. So
yeah, so we'll talk about the numbers that they gave us for what we need to gap ours, but of course, depending on the size of your bores and pistons and stuff, the numbers will be different. But from the manufacturer, they should give you the numbers that you want to hit.
Yeah, and I, this came in with the rings, but I still consulted with LN support. They're really good. Within 24 hours, they usually get back to me, and Oh, one thing that I learned through watching other videos, super important. Top ring gap should be tighter than the second one. So 15 thousandths on the top compression ring, 16 on the bottom one, because if you have the second ring the same or even smaller, it'll cause ring flutter. I don't know what that means, but apparently it's a bad thing. So make sure you test the measurements. And one thing from the LN build, you want to have the rings for every cylinder, but I've been, the ones that I overdid by 1/1000th, I've tested them on others and they were off by the same amount. So very consistent machining from LN.
Okay. Very good. So, all right, how does this thing work?
Okay. Well, first a couple of things on the setup, and I'm gonna use one of the ruined rings.
Yeah, so bad rings we marked with yellow so we don't confuse them.
So, a couple of things on these rings, and this is particular to this set of rings. Hard to see, but there are markings. This says N100. This is, I don't know if you can get to it. There. Oh, perfect. Yeah.
All right, N100 on that side, so that means it's the top.
So this is indexed to the top. One of the reasons why I completely overcooked this one is, even though this is an awesome machine, it's $300. I don't think there's much of a difference if you do it with the manual ones, which are like a fraction of the cost. It'll probably slow you down, which is fine. But the nice thing on this one is once you have it set up, super important, once you have it set up, the cut is very straight. So you put the ring in here. I've already made the adjustment here and here so that this part of the ring is flat. So even as I grind the ring here, when I take it out and I butt them together, they're nice and flat. Super important that that's kept nice and flat. So
Gotcha.
Part of the reason why I ruined the first ring is I didn't have this set up quite right, and I actually ended up grinding it at an angle. And so as I corrected the angle, let's just say I used the ring as an adjustment. And you're shaving off just little tiny pieces. So you want to tighten it up to this. And actually, let me do that again. Wait, where's this? Oh, you put this ring in here. You just protrude it just a hair off. You tighten it real nice. And you put it on your wheel. You zero out your wheel. And then you really don't want to go by this because it vibrates a whole bunch. You really want to take your time. Super important that you take your time. You turn this on, and then you grind. Just like that. Just a little bit at a time with minimum pressure. Take it out, measure it, do it 10 times.
Then it's easier to take more material off, harder to put it back on.
It's impossible. So then you go in. What was recommended is to use some assembly, and I'm going to do it again. Some assembly oil, just so that you're not putting them in dry. And then very carefully, with that N100, you sort of put it in to the cylinder, and then I'm not sure where I got this this tip, but take one of your old pistons, clean them up a bit, maybe a little bit more than I did, and you can use this to. What you want to do is you want to have the ring flat and at a consistent height for the measurement.
Squared up. And I will point out that leave a ring on here.
Oh yeah, that's important.
Because the ring will sit on the top and make this flush. Because you learned without the ring, it's really hard to eyeball it and make sure it's square.
Yeah, it's very difficult to do that. And even though this is not the cleanest, we're going to clean everything up before we install them again, we're going to clean the rings, we're going to clean the pistons, we're going to clean everything up. So we're taking metal out, we have some metal shavings, and then once you put this in, you go ahead and you do your measurement. Right, you get your feeler gauge.
And each one of those has a little measurement marked on it.
Yep. So in this particular case, this was the middle one. This is the second ring, so not 17, but 16 is what we're looking for. And what you want, again, this is one of the ones that failed, but what you want is to be able to put a 16 in, but not a 17. So if we pretend this is a 17, oh no, it's 20. It shouldn't really go in. I completely overdid it. But what you want is the correct size to go in, and one size up not to. And once you're done, very carefully remove the ring, and you put it back in the package. You label it, which is what we've done here with ring sets 1, 2, and 3 for the pistons for bank 1. I'm actually going to go through, and this might be a little boring, but I'm going to do one set of rings for cylinder number 4 since we have it here, and I'm going to show you. We might time lapse it because it should take a lot of measurements to get all the rings done.
Yep. Awesome. Perfect. All right, package number 1. We'll open this up, and
this is what you get.
I guess they all come in the same
rings,
bag.
Come in a similar bag.
So I guess with this set, it's easy to tell which one is which because they're made out of different materials and different colors.
Yes. The factory ones look exactly the same, and they come in different baggies, so don't confuse them. On this one, the copper-looking one, as I have learned, is the top compression ring, and they all have marked. So this one has that marking there, and probably hard to see there, but there's the marking. That's the top ring. There's the second ring. The oiling ring, and then the top and bottom oiling rings. So what I have learned to do is, just to confirm, and I'm sure this is okay, but you take the oiling rings should be more than 16 1/1000s, and they typically are. They're really flimsy, so they're super easy to put in. They're hard to get nice and square. See, I mean this. They're really flimsy. And then all we want is for the gap, and I mean, I've done enough of these now, not that I'm an expert, but I can tell already that that's going to be way over 15, way over 16. So I'll have 17 here, just to make sure it's over 16. Put it in, yep, good to go. So those
you didn't have to grind.
No, it's supposed to be just a confirmation in case there was some sort of weird manufacturing defect, because they're so flimsy. I don't even know how they would survive on the grinder. To be honest with you, this is just confirmation that. Yep, there you go. So you have 2 oiling rings. Now this is where the action really starts.
This one you don't grind
at all. No, this is and the reason why you don't grind is this is meant to be a spring, and so when it goes in, it sort of butts like that. You don't want overlap like that or like that. You want it butted, and we'll see when we put it in if that actually holds. All right. So if these are consistent with the other ones that I did before, these are going to be around 10 thou. And we want to get them to, this one to 16 and that one to 15. And they say that sometimes they'll come in so close that you can't even put them in straight, and of course you have to grind them. But Yeah, you can see the gap is really, really tiny. And I'm gonna guess it's 10 because that's what they have been, and they've been very consistent actually. It's 10. So with some effort, that goes in.
All the way through.
So, yep, consistent. Now, unlike the ones that I screwed up, I'm going to very, 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 very patiently grind this, even if it takes long. And I'm sure our director here will edit.
Yes.
This. One thing. Only grind from one side. You do not want to grind from both sides. Only take from one side. It makes control a lot easier. It makes it easier to keep.
Then you know for sure that at least one side's flat.
Yes. All right, I'm going to take it easy, even though I know this is supposed to be the. Tighten it up. Really, that's super important to tighten it up. And I'm just going to take a hair out. I don't care if we have to do this 10 times. I'm not paying $30 again.
You see that it's shiny now?
As opposed to that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, 3 to 4 hours. Make sure your spouse is not on you. Not that any of our spouses are ever on us.
They both happen to be out of town right now. So it's perfect.
No, seriously, take your time because if you don't take your time, it's going to cost you $30 every time. 30 some odd bucks. All right. I can already see that the gap is a little bit small, but it should be a little bit more than 10. So it was 10 before. Let's see if we got the 13. Oh, look at that. It's just barely 13. And you can tell because this is sort of holding. Mm-hmm. So, yep, we took about 3,000. And again, you saw how I did 1, 2, 3, and it took 3 thousandths off, right?
Each tap is like 1,000.
Yes, yes. So again, I'm not going to get too excited about doing this multiple times.
So what was the key to setting that up to make it flat? Just trial and error until...
Yeah, I actually put it out like, and I used a magnifying glass to run it parallel to this.
Okay.
And it was just this adjustment, on this here. Mm-hmm. It's an eccentric, right? So I just moved it until it was right, tightened it up, measured again, looked at it. Yep, it's where it needed to be. And so you just want to do a little tiny bit at a time. See, I have it just barely sticking over the edge there, right?
That's the most you can grind off.
Yeah, which would be too much anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, nice and easy, Aaron.
All right.
Nice and easy. I'm chicken.
Yeah.
I'm chicken right now. Oh, one thing also, and I'll go through this at the end, but you can feel that there's, when you grind
burr.
it, there's a burr.
Okay.
Now, they don't suggest doing anything during the measurements, but at the end, of course, you want to deburr that.
Yes.
And I vary this also. I don't know. I'm just... $13. So this one should go in very easy now. Yep, 13 goes in easy. Take a deep breath. This particular one has 10, 12, 13, and then it jumps to 15.
Nobody does 14.
Nobody uses 14.
14's for weirdos.
All right. Not quite there. So this is probably right at 13 and change.
All right.
I'll leave that there. And what I do is, whatever measurement I couldn't get in or had last, I'll leave it there.
Yeah, makes sense.
Nice and easy.
Back to the wheel.
Again, we're probably gonna do this more times. Don't get all upset. It's just digital media.
You guys can always skip what you don't want to see, but you can't see what we skip.
Just a hair. I don't even know why I do this, because I'm not going to rely on it. But very important to have this set on this, and this to be super tight. I also had the ring fling off.
Oh.
15. Now remember, we gotta take this to 16.
All right. One more little buzz.
But yeah, but you saw it was just like. Nyeh.
Yeah.
See if 16 goes in. Does not. Aaron.
So this is our bottom oiling ring. Just
Nope.
the biggest.
This is the second ring. This is the second ring. This is
Yeah,
the
but this-
oiling ring, top and bottom oil
Sorry,
ring.
but the bottom of the two that we
Yes,
grind.
this is it's called the second ring, second compression ring.
Okay.
Yep. The bottom of the two that we grind, yes. Yeah, and I always index this to be on the other side of it. So you only grind on one side. Okay, nice and easy. 1/1000ths. I mean, just a nothing. And I don't mind if we have to do this twice to get 1/1000ths off.
So the times when you messed it up, you got to this stage and you just went
No,
too
I was
far
like
that
at
next
3,
time?
and I'm like, oh, I can. Don't
You
judge
like
it.
tried to use the dial and go
I
like
did,
all the
I
way
did.
in one.
I actually did try to. Again, I don't even know why I used it though. But. I know, it's like, really, you didn't really do anything. I don't care. I don't care if you judge me. You pay the $30.
Right?
Nope.
Just a smidge more.
Yeah. We'll just do a 15. Yeah, that's a solid 15 and
15 and a half.
yeah, 15 and change. But God, this is the one where I get. And because I am so close, I'm gonna do 2 measurements. This is just me. You don't have to. I'm gonna do 2 measurements.
Measure twice, shave once.
I'm scarred. Same result. Same result.
That's good. Good job, Ellen. Consistency on your.
Yeah. I mean,
Cylinder walls.
only I can force it, but patience, Aaron.
It's the key to the rings.
Yes, it's key to be the Lord of the Rings. All right.
He's sweating over here. I think that was it. I think I saw it.
It may not be, but I'm okay with doing it one more time. So that's what I failed to do. I was trying. I don't know why, and there's no reason. It's not like it's not fun. I had the TV on, had practice.
Formula One.
Exactly. There's no reason to rush it. Kids are gone.
You red flagged the session for no reason.
Yeah, exactly. Drum roll, please. 16.
Oh yeah. No 17. No 17.
This is the big part. Although it was pretty tight. No 17.
Perfection.
Perfection for once. And through painful experience.
Right. Set it in our completed pile.
So a complete pile. All right, same thing. Make sure, again, this is going to be dirtied from the, putting in and removing. We're going to clean this. But same thing.
Initial measurement.
Yeah, initial measurement just to make sure, because again, this. Oh, the other thing, it turns out this ring is a harder compound. Mm-hmm. So it will shave off less per, and that messes you up when you're doing many of these.
Yeah.
If you do this one first, then again, I've learned that through painful experience, and you can tell also just by handling it. All right, that looks like a 10th also.
It's kind of scary how you can just look at them now and kind of
and I can tell you when I overdid it, I'm like, okay, this gap looks way too big. There's 10. The benefit is also these are very, very consistent. All right, so this is closer to 12 actually. All right.
Must be the Amazon version.
I haven't received those yet.
Oh.
But it's the same. No, and I bought the J Piston. You can get rings a lot cheaper, but I bought the same stuff. We're gonna do this one right. And put this puppy on the track. I'm trying to convince Aaron to supercharge it or turbocharge it. Who knows? Who knows?
We'll see what happens.
All right. If you get more views, will you supercharge it?
Probably.
All right.
Do you guys want me to supercharge? Comment below. Ooh, that one you can see sparks.
I did 2.
Yeah, I didn't see sparks on the last one. So
yeah.
That's, different compound for sure.
Oh, you know what we missed?
Deburring?
Yeah. Okay, sorry, rewind. So they say a jeweler's file, but these files work really well. It's very, very subtle, but what you want to do is take the edges off there. Yeah, and you can, it's a feel thing. And that's why I don't know if you can really wear gloves during this stage of it. But yeah, that's nice and deburred. And when we take these off, before installing them, we're going to double check just in case we missed anything. But yeah, that's it. You're not affecting the thickness. It's just the little things on the side.
Yep.
All right. Back to our regularly scheduled program.
Measurement 2.
Yeah, okay. Now, technically, I have an extra ring of this.
Yeah.
Not that I want to make any mistakes. Imagine doing this just by getting... It's very difficult.
Yeah. Over and over and over.
Yeah, and... So that's 15. It's not there yet. I'm skipping my rules here. 13 maybe? Yep. It's 13, not 15.
We'll never know if it's 14.
We'll never know. We'll never know. They just don't make 14s. It's bad luck in whatever country manufactured this. Probably Germany.
14 is the unlucky engine building number, apparently.
Yes. Because 13 is nice and goes in there. It's tight. Okay.
Is there a number 14 race car driver that something bad happened to his engine?
All right, here we go. Super critical, Aaron. Don't pressure me. I'm not gonna do this.
Turtle player, come get him.
Turtle pair.
Man, he was looking intently at that. No pressure.
Seriously, turtle pair.
He's like, eh?
This is all about patience. If you're in a rush, you gotta make dinner or something, do rings another day.
His eye legit could not be more on you right now.
All right, pay attention, Aaron.
All right.
Here we go.
Deep breath.
All right, here we go.
There's 74 sparks. That should be perfect.
74?
74.
Oh no.
We still don't know why engine builders charge so much money, do we?
Not quite. Solid 13. I mean, now 13 slips in. This is that number that shall not be spoken, I think. Yeah, it's loose, not quite.
All right. One more. At least.
Or two, or
At
three.
least.
I don't care. Right, turtle pair? The problem with a hand one is you have to affix it to something, and it doesn't have a really good clamping tool, so you end up making more mistakes on the angle. This is nice, so, and rechargeable too. All right, here we go.
I didn't even realize that this was battery powered. It seemed it was plugged in, but
Yeah, rechargeable battery. Mess up all the measurements. He's uninterested now.
Yeah, you bored him now.
Yep.
One cut too many.
Just for reference, these are dirty steps. We have metal shavings, we have a lot of stuff, and that's why Turtle Pair is here. When we do the clean things, put them away.
No pets.
No pets allowed during the clean phases, installation. There it is.
It's in.
Nice and tight. All right, here's the important measurement.
The 16 does not.
We
go.
want no 16. No 16!
All right, perfection. Deburr, and we are done with
And that, oh, you,
cylinder 4.
that's right, thank you. Handy.
I'm learning.
All right.
Switching hands. I was getting tired. All right, back in the bag.
You're getting tired.
Labeling them. Cylinder 4.
Yep.
Oh, very good.
All right. What's the next step? Oh, installing the ring. So for that we have to clean up stuff. We'll get all this metal stuff out. Put turtle pair inside. Get this block out, and then we'll install the rings.
Okay, now to put the rings on, first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean them really well again before we mark them, so we don't clean the markings off. And then we'll mark them for, these are the ones for 1, 2, and 3.
That's
All
correct.
right, and then we will put the rings on. So just using our carb cleaner, some Kim wipes.
Oh wow, real dirty.
And these pistons, I guess we can point out, don't have the, what do you call that little pin in them?
Oh yeah, that's right. The indexing
Indexing pin, yes.
for the second ring.
So if you do have stock pistons, you want to measure the width of that little indexing pin. Oh yeah, we have a stock one. Look at that. Where is our...
I had it. I set it up for you.
Oh, you did? I didn't see it. Oh, because the ring's already on. All right, so this little thing right here is the indexing pin. So the ring gap is going to go on either side of that. So with the stock ones, you have to measure how wide that pin is, and you have to add that to the gap of the ring when you're gapping it. So, for example, if this ring were in that particular groove, you would squeeze together, and that would be your, say it's your 15/100ths of an inch. So you would have to add to that the width of that thing so that you still have that much room in there for the fluids and gases to pass through. Okay, all clean and shiny now. We got the tops all facing up here. So again, you can see the skinnier point here is the top. The wider point on the bottom is the bottom, because those are smaller, the valves that are going to be going up against them. Yeah, that was mine. Leave it alone. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
What's wrong with you? All right. Let's see. So, and then the caps, the serial numbers are at the bottom. So what we will do is we will label this one. This will be number 1, number 1, number 2, 2.
All right, 3 lines for cylinder 3, 2 for 2, 1 for 1.
That's right.
And
One for all.
remember that the marks are going to be on the top.
Marks are going to be on the top. Is that all you need? No, that's fine.
All right, so we're going to use the little diagram that came with the, did this come with the rings or the pistons?
Ring set, yep.
Ring set, okay. So we are going to align it up here to this being the engine bottom, since this is our bottoms. And I guess the diagram kind of shows where the gap should be on each ring so that they're not all in the same place. So we're going to start with, what do we put on first?
We put the oil ring. This is the oil ring. Oiling ring.
And that one on the list is where?
Oil ring expander gap range.
All right, so it should be anywhere around that area.
And the important thing is that they do not overlap, right? But that is not, it's not going to be set until we put one of these in. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put one of the bottom oil ring.
Does that one have a mark for a top and a bottom?
No, these do not.
Okay.
I'm just gonna check, but I've cleaned them already, but there are no, I don't see any letters or anything.
There's no chamfered edge or anything?
Nope.
All right. Uniform, either way.
Yep. So since he's going to go at the bottom, I'm going to come at it from the bottom, I think. If it's clean.
It's our very first one.
What we've been told is that the most important thing is that these things do not overlap.
So it goes in the same groove as that.
Yep. There it is. And is that overlapping? I'm gonna put on my here, I'm gonna leave it there so you can film it.
Okay.
It's not overlapping. I'm gonna put my super duper bionic glasses.
Trying to see where the split is. I can't tell where it is. It's probably a good sign.
Yeah. It was meant to be there at the bottom somewhere.
So you can pull them apart so that they stretch out some.
Ah, there it is.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yep. Little V.
Got my
Perfect.
Bionic glasses on. All right. So success. As again, it's the bottom. The gap of the first oil ring is in this range. Right, and now we're going to put the top one sort of in this. It seems like this one should be a little bit more. I don't want to mess up the. Oh, it's perfect. All right. So this one will go.
That one also goes in the same groove, just on top.
Oops. Landed on a different groove. To make a gap right there. All right, that one was a lot easier to put in. All right. And let's double check.
No overlapping. Yep.
It's roughly at the bottom. And they move freely. So let's move this ring. God, it's not easy to index them. Once they're in. No, but they are movable. All right. All right. Success.
General correct index.
Yep. Here and here. Now, the second compression ring gap is going to be on top. Now, we've cleaned these. They're pretty dirty, actually. Stay. I've never used this tool. Now, remember, there were markings on this. There it is, 100. That goes towards the combustion chamber.
Top.
Yep. There's a marking. If this is the way to do it. They said expand it only as much as you need to. Not much more so you don't deform it.
Deforming is bad.
Oops. All right.
Look at that.
So the way I did it is I expanded it and then I caught the groove on the one end
Mm-hmm.
and then I let go of the machine.
Simple enough.
All right, that's the top compression. Oh, the top compression ring is on the bottom. So again, marking.
So it's 180 degrees different than the other ring.
There it is. Move freely. Whew.
All right, rings on, cylinder one.
I think so.
Easy. All right.
Yeah, that was deceivingly simple.
So if we screwed anything up, as usual, let us know, guys, and you'll see it fixed in the next video. I think
For
that's
sure.
how it goes. All right.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the same thing for the next two now.
Yep.